In early 1692, Salem Village, a Puritan settlement, faces social strife and war anxiety, ripe conditions for the witch trials hysteria. Refugees' influx strains Salem's resources, exacerbating existing rivalries and superstitions within the village. Strange afflictions strike young girls like Abigail Williams, igniting the witchcraft accusations that soon consume the community. February 1692 sees Dr. Griggs diagnose the girl's unexplainable symptoms as witchcraft, echoing Puritan fears of devilish influences. By late February, the first three accused witches, Tituba, Sarah Good and Sarah Osborne, are named, marking the trial's incendiary beginning. In March 1692, Tituba's forced confession and accusations against others catalyze a witch hunt fueled by fear and superstition. Accusations spread, ensnaring upstanding members like Martha Corey, indicating no one is beyond suspicion. By May, the Court of Oyer and Terminer convenes with William Stoughton at the helm to judge the escalating witchcraft cases. On June 2, Bridget Bishop stands trial, her non-conformity and prior witchcraft accusations leading to a swift conviction. Bridget Bishop is executed on June 10, 1692, the first of many tragic endings sanctioned by the court. The following month witnesses the convictions of Esther Rogers and Sarah Good, their protests of innocence ignored amidst the growing panic. Rebecca Nurse, a woman of previously unimpeachable character, is hanged on July 19, 1692, as the trial's hysteria deepens. Despite his articulate defense, George Burroughs is executed on August 19, 1692, the court unpersuaded by his recitation of the Lord's Prayer. Martha Corey is put to death on September 22, 1692, her earlier skepticism about the trials becoming her own indictment. Giles Corey suffers a torturous death under heavy stones on September 19, 1692, for his steadfast refusal to submit a plea. As skepticism grows, 19 have been hanged by October 1692, and public opinion begins to turn against the court's methods. In response to his wife being questioned and the growing outcry, Governor Phipps dissolves the court on October 29, 1692. By January 1693, the Superior Court of Judicature releases many of the accused for lack of real evidence, signaling the hysteria's end. In 1697, Judge Samuel Sewall publicly apologizes for his involvement in the trials, offering a rare admission of judicial remorse. Ann Putnam Jr. publicly apologizes in 1706, revealing that adult manipulation played a role in her accusations. The General Court's 1711 Act of Restitution to the victims' families acknowledges the trial's injustice and the community's enduring wounds. By the 1720s, the Salem Witch Trials become a cautionary tale against the dangers of extremism and the infringement of due process. 18th-century historians begin to view the trials as a blend of mass hysteria, local politics, and individual grudges. Throughout the 1700s, the trials shaped New England's legal reforms, promoting a more evidence-based approach over spectral testimony. By the 19th century, the trials serve as a stark warning of the perils of scapegoating and the judicial system's potential for abuse. Memories of the 1692 hysteria linger, teaching subsequent generations to question authority and the validity of accusations. As the new century dawns, the executed, once labeled witches, are recognized as victims of fear and prejudice. Over the years, the trial's legacy of accusation and loss becomes a somber chapter in the history of colonial America. The stories of individuals like Rebecca Nurse and John Proctor are recounted as narratives of integrity in the face of injustice. Giles Corey's defiance against the court's tyranny becomes a symbol of individual resistance and the ultimate price of conscience. With the witchcraft accusations discredited, Salem Village attempts to reconcile its dark past with a future founded on reason. Though the original execution site remains unmarked, the legacy of the trials lives on in the collective memory and culture. In 1953, Arthur Miller's The Crucible draws parallels between the Salem Witch Trials and McCarthyism, underlining the enduring relevance of the events of 1692. The philosophical divides of Salem's time, examined by 20th century scholars, mirror modern debates on moral certainty and the rule of law. Reflecting on the judicial failures of the Salem witch trials, modern legal systems emphasize the necessity of evidence and the protection of individual rights. As time progresses, the events of 1692 in Salem become a touchstone for discussions on civil liberties and the importance of maintaining them under pressure. The Salem witch trials endure in history, reminding us of the destructive power of hysteria and the importance of safeguarding against unfounded accusations. Education on Salem's past serves to caution against the dangers of zealotry and the value of upholding justice in the face of public fear. Contemporary reflections on the Salem witch trials advocate for critical thinking and due diligence to prevent the repetition of such tragedies. The remembrance of Salem's victims now symbolizes a commitment to truth and the continuous effort to balance justice with empathy and understanding.